Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to some more Scrap Mechanic Survival. I've spent the last couple days actually researching and doing some prototype testing on an idea that I got from a Discord member. So if you want to give me your ideas and if I like them, I will definitely try them out on here. And so I spent a long time trying to make this work, but I don't think there is a practical use to it, but I'm going to do it anyways. So the goal for today is to build a drone, an automated, quote-unquote automated, self-driving drone that drives around and shoots at bad guys that are just happen to be roaming around in the base or during a raid. So this is a good idea, and I really want to make it work, but with terrain height differences and without mods, it's almost impossible to have some practical use, but we're going to go for it anyways. So what you're going to need here are at least 2 controllers and lots of logic gates and at least 3 sensors. I don't have all the materials on me yet, but you'll watch me build them, so hopefully you can figure it out from there. So from here, what you want to do is just get a controller, and then we're going to want a block right here or so, and then grab another controller. These are just level 1 controllers, I think, for now. We don't think it's that important on upgrading them. Let's see, I can't get it right for some reason, so let's just move this here and then get that there. Okay, if this makes sense, what I'm doing here is just putting this little side piece here so that I can mount the controller onto it, and it should automatically stick to this one, even though it won't let you stick it to directly sideways like that. So this is just going to be our like central axle base place, I guess, if you know if that makes sense. I'm going to try to make this as small as I can, so what we're going to do is just instantly just put bearings on it. So what we want to do is just grab bearing, pipe thing, and bearing. This is, you know, the basic just controller steering slash movement steering column type. So here on the other side, bearing, stick, and bearing, and stick, and bearing, and we should be good. And so now, let me just grab these real quick. You just got to put the tires on here, here. Okay, so when this happens, what you're going to just have to do is take it off the lift and put it on, and then it should not block. The lift shouldn't block building for you. It just kind of has to reset once you build on top of it. So if you guys didn't know that, now you do. So here, so you have a basic car. I mean, this is a really small car. It looks pretty cute, and it should be functional. Not really, because we need to do the controller connections. What we're going to do here is have, instead of the controller controlling the front and backwards movement, we're going to have the controller control the left and right movements. And so what I mean by that is this front controller, I probably should have faced it one way so I know which way it's, you know, controlling, but it's okay. Is you're going to have it control this outside. Oh, I forgot. You are going to actually need to upgrade these controllers. I think you're going to need a maximum of 4 connections, and so you're going to need them to level 3 controllers so that you can control more than one bearing at the same time. I forgot about that. So let's do that, get these upgraded, and we'll be fine. Hey, hey, I was doing something here. Gosh, dang it. Alright, I don't think he destroyed anything important. I am back with my upgrades. I just upgraded the controllers, both of them to level 3, and I think it's good. So I realize now that I actually don't need the dual bearing setup, but just for stability, you do want to have at least 1 block in between from the wheels to the center point right here. And so that's just how it goes, and that's how I'm going to make it. So right now what we're going to do is connect this controller. I'm going to designate this front controller to connect to the right side of the car. So this controller will control this, and this one will control, or this will also go back to these 2 right here. So you have 4 connected perfectly, and we're going to say the back controller will control the left side of the car. So you just do 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pretty good. And I put these switches here to test them out. I haven't really quite figured it out how to make it work yet. But I think what I'm going to have now is these controller. I said I was going to make this controller control the right of the car. Move forward. Just a quick actual 360 move forward, which is pretty easy. We actually might change things later once we get to actual rolling and make it go on a loop. and if I hit this controller, it goes to the left. Okay, perfect. It's pretty good. It works pretty well. We do have that little controller angle snap issue that we might have to fix later, but we'll come across that bridge when we get there. And so now on the left side, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, and I believe we're going to have to reverse the steering on these bearings because I like having forward be the blue arrow and not the red arrow. So if I press this, it should turn to the right. And if I press both, they should go straight. Can you guys see what's going on here already? I read to angle it to make it loop. So basically, we can make it do lots of different cool little range of motion turning and stuff on its own. So that will be the controllers. Next, what I'm going to do actually is a bit more complicated. I want to replace these switches. I can replace it with a button if I want to, but I'm actually going to use logic gates right now. So what I'm going to have is just a logic gate switch. I don't know what it's called, a bit, I guess, a memory bit. And this memory bit is going to just essentially control each controller. So this will be the right side memory bit, and this will be the left side memory bit right here. You don't need to worry about getting in the ways of the wheels because the wheels really won't flex at all, hopefully. And so basically it is a NOR, or we're going to have the central node be OR. So NOR, and OR. And so we've got a bit. So let's see if we can control it right way. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So do I have buttons on me? I think I might have buttons on me. Not sure. Okay, we do. All right. So now what I'm going to do is, as all of my creations that have memory bits, I have a reset button on it because that's, I don't know how to, just in case it starts flashing after you put it on a lift, it's just there to reset the whole thing. So we're going to designate this as the back of the vehicle. So if I connect a button on this controller and this controller to their respective bits, so here and here, and then connect these outputs. So this OR in the middle, this OR gate right here in the middle will connect to their respective controllers. So this one is just going to go to the left controller or the bottom controller, depending on what you want to call it. And this OR gate will connect to the top or right side controller. So if I press this button, it turns on the right side, making it go forward, making it turn left. And then I press this reset button, which isn't connected to anything yet. You can connect the reset button to the other side. You press this reset button, it will turn off both of these switches and make this side stop. And so same thing for this side. If you connect this to the output, which I've already done, you press this button, it starts moving that way. And that way it's moving constantly. You don't need to worry about switches or any resetting, anything like that. And if you want to stop it, just press this button. It'll do this weird controller angle snapping issue, but we can fix that later. Okay, next is going to be the sensor setup. This is a relatively easy and well-known thing to do in Scrap Mechanic, but a lot of the new people may not quite know it yet, or want to look all the way back in like 2017, I think, when that became a big thing, when the sensors came out. I think it was 2017 or 18. But anyways, what we need are 3 sensors. They just need to be level 1. It really doesn't matter exactly. Oops, I turned it on in accident. Level 1 sensors is all you need, and you put them in the front of the vehicle right here. So I have 1, 2, 3, all of them facing down. I think this is a level. Why is that one? Oh, it must be angled on a weird angle. It's yellow. I don't really like the different colors. We can figure that out later. So let's actually now move this over to our test plot, or our test plot of, I guess, land. I'm not sure what they call it. And so yes, as you can see, I put it on the lift, put it down, and now the bits are all flicking and stuff. You just press the reset button and it should take care of that. Anyways, this is going to be the method that finds the line, or these sensors are going to be the, things that see the line, sense the line, and then follow the line. It's pretty straightforward, to be honest, and I don't think any of you guys will have a problem trying to figure this out. So what we're going to do is set all of these to be color mode. Wait a minute. Okay, well, I've kind of misjudged this a little bit. I realize you're going to need a lot more component kits than I thought. because color mode only becomes available once the sensor is level 5. So you're going to need 3 level 5 sensors to make this working properly, also making this not as much as a viable solution. So what I'm going to actually do here is, you might call this blasphemy, but what I'm going to actually do here, instead of wasting my component kits, I am going to erase this turret and steal it. Well, I'm just going to steal its sensors. I'm just going to steal the sensors from this turret right here and move this elsewhere. Let's just put this on top so that doesn't get destroyed still. Okay. All right, so we got level 5 sensors. If you guys don't have those on your own, that's just fine. I don't blame you. This is kind of a mess. What you gotta do is just place them down like they were before. 1, 2, oops, and 3. I'll just put them back real quick. And it's becoming nighttime, so we're going to need to get a light out here and get this working, because I really don't want to wait a whole 12 minutes to get this light back. All right, we got some light back. It's not great, but it'll get the job done. So what we're gonna do next is basically turn these color modes to be on and have it sense black. That's what I have. That's what this color is right now. And if you guys didn't know how I made this track, it's essentially just concrete, and then I used a paint tool. I pressed Q, paint it black, and then you just make art and what's not. I'm out of paint right now, so you can't really see an example, but I think you guys know how to paint things already. So let's just make this last sensor onto black, and I believe range of 1 or 2. Actually, no, let's make it range of 3. Range of, I mean, it doesn't really matter the range, to be honest, but as long as it's over 1, I think you'll be fine. So now you've got that, and you've got 3 sensors all ready to get their thing going. So what you're going to need to do here is realize what's going to happen. Once the car gets off track like it is right now, it's drifted over to the left. This sensor will be the only one that's triggered, meaning that it will need to turn to the right. Depending on how you have your controller set up, that means you're going to need to turn on one of the triggers. Which one to turn on, I believe, is this one, this set of wheels right here, while turning off this set of wheels. So if you connect this sensor to I think it's going to be this one right here, it'll turn it on, which is good, and there it goes. It turned right to get back on. However, it kept on going because we don't have the other one set up yet, so let's do that really quickly. And this also is going to cause another problem if you guys haven't figured it out already, but we will address that problem in the future. Next is going to be this second controller, this right side sensor, or I guess left side, driver's left side sensor. And if you connect this to the opposite of the one that this right side is connected to, that means it will turn on the opposite one, meaning it will go to the left, or it will go straight if the other one is already on. And this middle sensor right here is going to do the same thing, as it will connect to both, actually, if that makes sense. So sensor turns on, the middle sensor turns on both bits, meaning both controllers will turn on and you'll be good. Left and right turn on the opposite sensors, turning the opposite controllers, making them go in their own direction. So as you can see, it saw the line and went straight. And now you see the problem. Wait a minute. Since there are bits, the lines will always be on. How am I supposed to turn off the bits or turn off the things when it's going off track? What we have here is we're going to have each sensor actually turn off the respective one if it goes on. So, or not the respective, they're opposite sides. So we're going to reset this real quick. And this sensor, since it turns on this side, if this gets on, we're going to want it to turn off the other side. So this will also be connected to the opposite here. See, you kind of understand what I'm saying? Like this right side, it turns on the left side controller, but turns off the right side controller so that it will turn properly. And that should make it pretty simple and pretty straightforward. As you'll see, if we have this go on, you can see how it kind of does that. I've never tested it on diagonal angles, so this might be a little bit rough, but it should be fine. Okay, yes, it does work. But yeah, do you guys see what's going on here? It's following the line now pretty properly because it's sensing the black and whatnot. And so once it runs out of line, it's going to keep on going straight. And that's going to be a problem, isn't it? Okay, I just did some research and I went back to my creative world and see what I did wrong. And there isn't really a good way to do this in survival, as it will require a lot of resources and pretty complicated. And so what I've decided to do was just fix the track to make it so this thing can loop back on itself. It would be much easier if this was like a cycle, if I just made this a full circle and had it come back, but I currently don't have the paint for that. And so as you can see, I am in the middle of figuring things out. You don't have to add any more pieces. This is perfect pretty much the way it is. You can actually take away these buttons if you want to, as you probably won't be needing them anymore. So all you need is just this stuff that I have, and I've already told you how to set it up. You set these sensors here, like you have 2 controllers or 2 connections for them. So one, wait a minute, what is this? Why is that setting that off? Okay, I don't know what happened there. I had some weird connection issues, but we're back, and this is a simple just 2 sensor or 3 sensor setup. It will sense one of these, you know, colored blocks, and it should eventually make its way around. Hopefully. It's kind of finicky and it's not perfect, as you can see, but I'm working on it. All I need to do is just get more paint, make this a little bit bigger, expand it out a little bit more, and then we'll have a perfect feedback loop. So what we're going to do is actually get some more paint real quick, get some more concrete, and then start making some, you know, actual tracks for it to follow. Well, I just built a turret on top of this thing. I realized that having a ammo container really takes away from the smallness of the little drone thing, but maybe I can, next time if I try to do this again, I can build it around the ammo container instead of all this logic here, and then just try to see if I can fit the logic around to make it a little bit cleaner looking. But this is what I got so far, and if you guys want a tutorial on how to make this turret, you actually may have already seen it in one of my previous videos, and that should be suggested right now in the top right, unless I forget to do that. So remind me if you guys don't see that suggestion on how to build a turret. So now what all I've done was just make this an auto turret essentially, and it's 3 sensor. They're only level 3 right now because I didn't want to waste component kits, but it's, you know, it just looks at you. It's pretty quick, but it should aim fine enough. And it will be patrolling around this loop that I have created. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier or not, but it will essentially be patrolling around this loop, around this coastline. I completely destroyed this turret. In fact, I might even just make this go even further down the coastline in the future once I get more materials. But yeah, so essentially what this is going to do is just go down the coastline and shoot at anything that it can sense within its, I think, 15 block range right now. So it's a little bit off the wall, but I think it should work. All right, we have a small raid, I think, that's been triggered coming tonight. It might not even be a big enough raid, so we'll test it out for 2 raid nights, and we're going to actually grow some more potatoes while we're at it so that we can get this thing working. So let's get this going, and then I'll talk to you guys tonight whenever all this is up. All right, we got about 10 seconds until the raid. I have a feeling this isn't going to work out as well as I want it to, because I've already noticed that it is sensing, I believe, either the floor here or this turret here, and that's causing some issues. And also that recoil. Oh gosh, okay. Whew. Interesting. All right, let's get this back on track. Put this back. The raid has started. I turned on my defenses, so I should be protected for now. But I'm going to try to see if I can lead a haybot or someone over here. This is only like a level 3 raid. It's not even, it's barely even a raid at all. Oh gosh. Okay. Okay. My frame rate is a bit dying right now, so I'm not sure what's going on. But I've put in my semi-final touches on this prototype drone turret. It's a small loop that it's doing, yeah, but it definitely works. Well, works is within quotes. As you can see here, it's doing a little jig as it tries to figure out where it's supposed to go, and then gets lost and will probably fall off the path. But I can easily fix that by simply just extending out the path so that it can turn around, have more room to turn. So it's not going to be perfect every time, but I do have it so the case where the turret does sense you, and in fact the turret now stops the car if it senses a enemy or anybody and shoots at them. So like here you can see it just shoots at me a little bit and is doing its thing. However, the problem is how will it start back up if it gets off track like it does here. And so I'll probably end up putting a timer of some sort on here so that it stays paused for a little bit, but then starts back up on the car somehow. But I think we'll just leave it like this for now. And if you guys have any better suggestions, please let me know. I'm starting to get tired of this. As you can tell, I gave up on the aesthetic on trying to make this work and just started trying to just make it work and not worry about what it looks like at the end. So I've used a lot of different materials on this, and yeah, it looks kind of ugly, but it gets the job done. Honestly, that's about all I care about right now in space. But it looks like my auto farmer is going off, and so in 2 days from now we should be getting a level 6 raid, and we should be hopefully all good and ready to test this out. Okay, this may be a bit inhumane, so if you are squeamish, don't look, but we're gonna test our turret on this cow right now. Turret worked on that cow over there. The cows have seemed to have just invaded my... Oh my gosh, they're just trying to stop this. Why are you trying to stop progress, cow? Oh my goodness. You know what? You're fine. Whatever. You're just gonna be stuck there now. Ugh. Oh, here we go. We got another test subject. Get in there. Yeah, there you go. Get close. See what happens. Oh, don't get too close. No, don't get too close. What are you doing? Oh. Well, that kind of worked. Alright, I can say the test was semi-successful. I think that cow already had not a lot of health, so it died pretty quickly, but I mean, the turret worked, so... Alright, I can say that if there's anything in this area, it'll be shot at, if not killed. I'm not sure yet. We got about 9-10 more minutes until I can actually test it out. Ugh. Alright, this is the moment of truth. Actually, this is a moment of truth, too. We got 2 moments of truth. We can get this bot to see if we can run into the range of this car over here. We can see if we can get this to work. Haha! It worked! Alright, here comes the raid now. Let's see what happens. Oh gosh. Oh my goodness. Alright, so the bots do get on top of the tracks. That's actually to be expected, to be honest. I did think that was going to happen. But it did kill 2 before they overran it. So I could either surround this track with saw blades or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. But it looks like all these cows are also distracting the bots and making them go not where they usually go. This is such a mess. This is literally chaos. Totebot Bay is just chaos. I'm going to have to clean up these heads because I'm starting to get some frame rate issues, I think. What are you guys doing swimming over here? Alright, let's just get rid of these guys and then we'll end the episode. So I would say that test was a pretty decent success. I think I'll just need to protect the track more with something, and then once I do that, we'll be good. But that was pretty good. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I did. Well, I kind of did. I'm so sorry. That was out of habit, really a force of habit. I'll get you out of there. But as always, I hope you guys have a great morning. I think you're stuck. Oh no. Oh, you're good. You go under there. Okay. Have a great morning, afternoon, night, or evening, and I will see you next time.